I'm meteorologist Nicholas Urbosa with Mobile, Pensacola's very own Fox 10 News. We're giving you an update on Tropical Depression number 4. This is the 1 p.m. Central Daylight Time advisory. Winds are right now at 35 miles per hour, and we're continuing with this west-northwest motion at 15 miles per hour. As of the latest advisory, Tropical Depression 4 is now emerging off the coast of Cuba and into the Gulf of Mexico, where it is expected to strengthen into a tropical storm, which its name would be Debbie, and then possibly strengthen further, maybe becoming a hurricane before making landfall late Sunday into Monday near the Big Bend of Florida. Understand there's a little wiggle room with the timing of landfall, and we'll take a look at the forecast path in a second. Here's the high-resolution satellite imagery, and one important thing that we have noticed very recently as the center is now emerging off the coast is this blow-up of thunderstorms near the center of the storm. If we get more of this, the storm could strengthen further, become a tropical storm, maybe even a little quicker. Looking at the visible satellite imagery, we can also see these thunderstorms developing near the center here. This is rapid update imagery, 1 minute imagery. So you can see the circulation there as it moves off of Cuba. It'll continue to move to the north and west here. And over these warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico, we will likely see some strengthening or at least some convection thunderstorms blowing up near the center. Right now, we have tropical storm warnings that have been issued for the western coast of Florida. The new advisory does include tropical storm warnings for Key West. So that was something that is a change from the previous advisory. Otherwise, tropical storm warnings continue all the way up the coast, and those residents in those areas should be prepared for tropical storm conditions. Now, this is Florida, and of course, we are used to tropical storm conditions, but just something to keep in mind as we are expecting strong onshore flow, a couple other impacts including storm surge, heavy rain, and those tropical storm force winds. Now, if we look at the northern end of the cone here, towards the Big Bend, we have a hurricane watch that has been issued. The thinking is that over the warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico, this storm could strengthen and possibly become a hurricane. The latest National Hurricane Center track does not have it officially as a hurricane, but understand that that is very much a possibility. And we could see hurricane conditions as the storm makes landfall. So residents in the Big Bend watching that closely. Thankfully, this is not as populated an area as, say, Tampa is or even Panama City. So this is a less populated area of the coast. For this area of the coast, we do have storm surge alerts that have been issued, including a storm surge warning. One community that is no stranger to storm surge that is in this storm surge warning is Cedar Key. Also areas that might ring a bell because of previous storms, Perry, Florida. You might think back to Idalia. Also, we have Tallahassee. That's not in any storm surge warnings, but is definitely in the cone, and some of the latest forecast models bring center of circulation relatively close to that area. Here's a look at the storm surge forecast here. 1 to 3 feet, 2 to 4 feet for the Tampa Bay area, and then our max around 3 to 5 feet. We will see updates to this, so make sure you're staying tuned to that storm surge forecast. That, of course, is available from the National Hurricane Center. Here's some of these forecast models, and I mentioned some of them are trending just a bit west. We've seen a few nudges west with the past couple of model runs. Either way, Big Bend is the confident area that after this, the storm really begins to slow down. And that is a serious problem for the southeastern coast here, some of the coastlines of Georgia and South Carolina. You see the forecast cone becomes a bit of a bubble. That is because the storm is slowing down and it might meander over this area, dumping lots and lots of rain. Latest forecast from the Weather Prediction Center for rainfall, 5 to 10 inches and over 10 to 15 inches possible in those bullseye. It kind of depends on where the storm slows down. There's a little bit of uncertainty in that, but understand that that amount of rainfall is possible, and residents in these areas need to be prepared. For us locally here in the Fox 10 viewing area, we have a sharp cutoff. We're going to be on the dry side of this storm. Very little to no impacts in our local area, and our rain chances actually go down in the coming days. So once again, here is the forecast path for Tropical Depression 4. As you can see, 60-mile-per-hour tropical storm by 8 p.m. on Sunday, about 100 miles off the coast of Tampa there, Tampa Bay, then making landfall likely Monday morning or late Sunday night if it's a little faster, over the Big Bend region, and then completely slowing down and then meandering over Georgia, maybe South Carolina, maybe even the Atlantic. So that's the update here on Tropical Depression number 4. We will have more updates here from Fox 10 News as we track the storm as it moves off of Cuba and into the Gulf of Mexico. Impacts likely for the Florida Peninsula and Big Bend region, but no impacts locally here in the Fox 10 viewing area. One quick reminder, our rip current risk increases in Gulf Coast beaches Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.